Hello everybody, Eric Worre here, and welcome to the webinar. I'm excited today to share some things with you because I've experienced and witnessed a true breakthrough when it comes to setting appointments and showing more people what we have when it comes to an opportunity, when it comes to products, when it comes to financial opportunity in the network marketing profession. And as we get started with this, I do want to tell you one thing. Make sure you watch all the way to the end, because at the end of this webinar, I'm going to show you, those of you that are not going to be at GoPro Recruiting Mastery live and in person at the end of November, I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to watch it from the comfort of your own home. Watch it on your computer, watch it on your tablet, watch it on your phone, be able to have that experience. So make sure that you watch all the way to the end. All right, how did this come about, and what are we going to talk about today? There's been the biggest challenge in network marketing, and it has been, how do we get people to overcome their fear necessary to go out and talk to people about their opportunity. I call inviting the gateway skill. When you talk about the book GoPro, we spent a lot of time talking about this gateway skill. And the reason why we call it a gateway skill is if you don't go through that gate, it's over. If you can't get somebody to take a look, it's over. If you can't get somebody to understand your product or your opportunity, it's over. And so many people struggle. There's so much fear involved in that aspect of our business. People get involved and they're like, they're going to pick up the phone to talk to their brand new person, and they go into one of two different states typically. One is they just verbally throw up on that person. They just blah, 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 blah. Come join my business. You'd be great at this. We can get involved early, and all these wrong words to say. They act desperate. They act needy. Or two, they act scared. They act intimidated, and that doesn't build confidence with the person that's listening, that prospect. Or three, they get ready to pick up that phone and they go, maybe later. They get ready to pick it up again and they go, I don't want to look stupid. I'm not sure if I'm ready. I don't know if I know what to say. So they hang it up. Another thing that happens is they call that person they think is going to join for sure, and that person just, boom, hits them with 15 questions, and they go, oh, I don't ever want to do that again. That made me feel super uncomfortable, right? So there's been all these barriers to getting people to take a look. And understand, once we get people to sit down with us, once we have an appointment inside of the network marketing profession, the appointment is the hard part. Then once you're together with them, all you have to do is point to your third-party materials, share your story, share your product, share your opportunity, point to whatever third-party tools that you have, play them a video, do whatever you need to do, demonstrate your product, whatever it is. That part's pretty easy, but the appointment is hard. So in GoPro, we go through this 8-step process for teaching people how to always be in a hurry when you pick up the phone, how to compliment someone, how to go into the invitation, direct, indirect, super indirect, how to follow up, make sure that appointment's a real appointment. And all of those things are valid. But there's been something that's happened in the last 12 months that has changed the game. It's changed the game. And what I'm about to share with you, some of you are going to say, that's ridiculously simple. Some of you are going to say, I'm not sure if it's even real, and that's okay. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you'll try it, if you'll test it with me today, and I'm going to give you a way for you to test it today, then the results for you are going to skyrocket. Not only for you, but for every person in your organization. Now, I've been doing 90-day game plans and blitz days inside of the 90-day game plans for quite some time now. And I've done them with large groups, and there's something that's there's been a metamorphosis that's happened in the past 12 months. And it's led me to this breakthrough that I'm going to share with you today. What I would typically do is I'd get people together in a small group, and let's say there's 50 people in the group, and I'd divide them up into maybe 10 teams of 5. And I'd say, okay, now get on the phone and start making appointments. And I'd have those 10 teams compete with each other. And they'd get amazing results when they were doing this by themselves. They had all this camaraderie. They had competition going for them. They had a deadline. I usually give them an hour or two to be able to do that. And they book up their calendar like crazy. But something's happened. And I'm going to share with you in just a minute. But the biggest thing that I will tell you is times have changed in our world and how we communicate. Think about your world. Think about this. Think about how you use this now versus how you used it even 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Think about how rare it is to hear a phone ring now. You just hear them buzz. Bzz, bzz, bzz. They're on silent everywhere. When was the last time you heard one ring? Remember when ringtones were the big thing? They were huge. And now ringtones disappeared. Nobody even cares about ringtones much anymore. And if people call you, let's say you call your kids, you know, typically your kids aren't answering the phone, but right afterwards they'll send you a text that says, what do you need, right? So they won't answer the phone, but they'll text you right away. What did you need? And then you text them back. And our kids, I think, have trained us as adults that texting is a little bit simpler and easier than a phone call when it comes to communication, when it comes to staying in touch, when it comes to staying connected with people and doing it on our terms. I don't know about you, but even for me, my phone rings, most of the time, I'll let it go to voicemail and I'll text that person, what did you need? Even before I listen to the voicemail. So here's what started to happen. Couple stories. I started to have, in these blitz days, people were making calls and they were getting results. And at our Insanity Boot Camp this summer, I had a lady come up. As soon as we divided everybody into teams, I had a lady come up to stage literally having a panic attack. She was crying, she was hitching, she was like, I can't do this, I can't do this. I'm scared. I'm here to support my husband. I'm scared to death. I don't know what to do. I'm not even on his team. We got divided. We're not even on the same team. This is not what I signed up for, which is typically what a brand new person goes through that same experience when it comes to say, okay, you're going to make some calls now. They go, and they freak out. And I said, look, just relax. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do over the course of these next few hours. If you feel like it, if you feel like it, make a few calls. She says, no, I'm not going to make any calls. I'm not going to make any calls. Okay. What if you just sent a text message to people instead of making the calls? Well, maybe, but I'm not sure. Okay, fine. Just relax. Enjoy yourself. It's going to be fine. Go sit with your husband. It's going to be fine. If you do end up booking any appointments, she says, no, I'm not going to book any. I said, listen, if you do end up booking any appointments, we'll have to count them towards the other team just to make it fair, okay? Well, a few hours later, I'm walking around to these different groups, and she's got this big smile on her face. An hour in, she hadn't done anything. She just sat there quiet as a mouse. But then she slowly picked up her phone and she started to send a text message here and a text message there. Now, in a few hours, she had booked 18 appointments. Her husband had booked like 14 appointments on the phone. She booked 18 appointments with text message. And I was like, wow. And she was on top of the world. Her confidence was boosted. She felt great. Everybody on the team was high-fiving. It was awesome. So that's one story. Another story is I was speaking to a group of maybe 4,000 leaders in a particular company. And I wanted to do a blitz day. But logistically, it was just very difficult to split all those people into teams and do a blitz day for a couple hours. And it just got to be logistically hard. But here's what I did. I told everybody, pull out your phones. And I want you to send a text message to a prospect while we're here right now and ask them for an appointment. Just say coffee, question mark. Can we get together next week? Question mark. What's your schedule look like next week? Whatever it is. Send a text message out, and once you've booked an appointment, I want you to stand up. Within 10 minutes, The entire room was standing up. 10 minutes, 4,000 people, 4,000 appointments within 10 minutes. Boom. And many of them multiple appointments, because once they did one, they wanted to do another. So I've taken that into some of these private breakthrough events that I do, these 3-day coaching events. And I used to do phone call stuff over the course of this last year, and I've done it for my whole career, phone call blitz campaigns. And instead of that, I've switched it to just text message campaigns to set appointments. And the results are unbelievable. So I've tested and tested and tested over the course of this last 12 months before I wanted to share it with you. And I will tell you this. A lot of people like to say in network marketing, we don't have a boss. Okay? You don't have a boss in network marketing. But let me describe to you what your boss really is. Your boss in network marketing is your calendar. You either have appointments scheduled in this calendar or you don't. You either are scheduled to meet with people and share your opportunity or you don't. If this is empty, your business is stagnant. It's not growing. So our goal to start for everyone is to get this filled up with appointments here and there and everywhere. Sit down with somebody for coffee, share the opportunity. Sit down with lunch or breakfast, share the opportunity. Sit down after work, share the opportunity. And from that, you're going to get a certain result, right? So this is your boss. And if this is your boss, our job, our biggest job, the gateway job, is to fill this calendar up, not just for you, but for every person in your organization. So here's the big breakthrough. To schedule an appointment, instead of the phone call, send a text message. Send a simple text message. And I'm going to give you a challenge. By the time we're done with this, give you a challenge to do this today with your prospects. And I'm going to have you go on the Network Marketing Pro fan page in order to be able to post your results as you do it. And you're going to see amazing, unbelievable. You know what it's going to feel like? It's going to feel like cheating. You're going to go, well, this is like way simpler than it's even supposed to be. It's supposed to be hard and pain and drama, tears. It's not. It doesn't have to be. This has changed the game. The way we've communicated has changed the game. And when it comes to network marketing, it's a breakthrough. Send a person a text. Get together for coffee next week? What's your schedule look like? You know, can we meet at Starbucks for breakfast or whatever, or for a cup of coffee? Can we get together at break time during the middle of the day? Can we get together after lunch? What's your schedule look like on Saturday? I'd like to get together with you. And just whatever message you want to send. There's really no right message. We'll talk about that a little bit tactically. But frankly, just send the message to the prospects. And who do you start with? Start with A. In your phone book, anybody that's not involved in your business, even customers that you have that aren't distributors yet, hey, what's your schedule look like? Can we get together next week? Right? Send them that text message, send it out into the universe and let it go. Make a little note of it that you sent one out and let it go and see what happens when it comes to response. Now, that seems like, well, okay, we did this big webinar just for that. Let me tell you why this is a breakthrough and why I just dropped my phone. Hold on. Let me tell you why this is a breakthrough. Here's why this is a breakthrough. Number one, it's easy to do. Every person in your group can pull their phone out right now and send a text message, right? They'll do it. It's easy. It couldn't be easier. There's nothing easier. You don't have to pick up your phone to make a call. You don't have to worry about all the things you're going to say. If you're going to say something wrong, just see if you can set an appointment. Our job is not to convince anything, but to just set an appointment. Number two, it's fast. It's fast. You can do it right now within a couple seconds. Boom, it's sent, right? Number three, it creates action. Now understand, if I asked you as a brand new person, I want you to call 100 people and see if you can schedule an appointment. And you have 3 days to do it. You are now in a panic. And you might even say you're going to do it, but you're going to go home and you're not going to do it. You're just going to be afraid, scared, fearful, bound up, trapped, paralyzed. But if I say, listen, I want you to send 10 text messages right now before we walk away from each other. Okay, send 10. Start getting some results. And then I could challenge you to send 100 text messages just to see what happens. Send 100 text messages to people that you know. And what I mean by when I say action, this is activity that wouldn't have happened without this simple breakthrough. They wouldn't do it with the phone. They just wouldn't. We could talk about what they should do and why it's important for them to develop those skills. That's fine. And we'll get to those skills. And all those, the 8 invitation skills, are all important and they all work. However, what's going to get a bigger result? I have 2 people here, just joined today. What's going to create more activity? I want you to call and talk to 100 people and invite them to sit down with you and have an appointment. Or I want you to text 100 people and see if you can schedule an appointment. Which is going to get more activity? The text, for sure, 100%. So it creates activity that wouldn't have been created without this simple approach. Now, in addition to that, it creates results. Now, what I mean by results is, number one, you're going to have more conversations than you would have had without this tactic. So that's going to create higher results. More conversations is going to equal more success. Number 2, the text message is actually higher when it comes to scheduling appointments. You're going to actually schedule more than if you talk to them on the phone. It's how our world works today. You could call somebody and they'll say, no, I'm busy, no. You send them one text that says, hey, what's your schedule look like next week? I'd like to get together with you. And you get a response. The other thing that happens is when you when you call somebody, how many of you have been frustrated calling someone and they never answer? They never answer because guess what? The world doesn't answer. It goes to voicemail. I tried to call 50 people, nobody answered. And you get frustrated, right? Take that same 50 people that you called, you send them a text message, and they get back to you immediately. You're going to be stunned when you do this. I've had tons of people. The last breakthrough event that I had a group here from the United Kingdom for 3 days. And I shared this strategy with them. And they thought I was absolutely crazy. They just said, look, I don't think this is going to work at all. I think you're nuts. I think you're crazy, but we'll try it. And I think in 2 hours, less than 2 hours, they averaged almost 20 appointments each. This group, okay, just with text only. Now, so the results are astounding. Now, in addition to that, when you get on the phone, you get lots of objections. What is this? Tell me more. All this other kind of stuff. When you send a text, the objections are almost non-existent. The only objections you're going to get are somebody who has huge network marketing psychic damage. Or you've prospected them 150 times or something, and they're like, well, wait a minute. That's the only objection you're going to get. And I'll talk to you about how to handle that. But when you send a text message, hey, what's your schedule look like? I'd like to get together with you next week. The response is, oh, my schedule's, I'm free this, I'm free that, and, or can we get together for breakfast on Tuesday? It's yes or no. Here's what works with my schedule. Here's when I'm available. So objections are reduced dramatically. Now, on top of that, take a person who now has 5 appointments scheduled versus you have 2 people again. One is trying to make 10 phone calls and one is sending 10 text messages. Okay? The one that tries to make the 10 phone calls, most of the time they're not going to make those 10 phone calls. And if they do, they're going to get tons of voicemails. They're going to reach 1 or 2. So take a look at how confident are they feeling after those 10 phone calls. Not very confident. Now you take that same person, they send 10 text messages, and they get 5 people right away that says, yeah, sure, my schedule's pretty open. I can work this, I can work that. Now, what happens to that person's confidence now that they have 5 appointments scheduled? And you as the upline could say, look, I'll help you with those first appointments while you're getting going and while you're learning what to say and what to do. So don't worry about that. Just get the appointment set and we'll sit down and have a conversation. So confidence goes straight up by getting the calendar starting to be filled up, right? Again, think about a new person. A new person now, going out there and sending those 10 text messages, getting 5 appointments, and they're going, oh my gosh, I think this is going to work. All of a sudden, they're looking at their calendar and they're saying, okay, I got this, this, this. And they start filling up their calendar and they have a business now. They've got things moving, okay? So for all of these reasons and more, there's so many psychological levels that this works on. For you as a leader wanting to grow your organization, for you as a brand new person wanting to build. If you're stagnant, the reason you're stagnant is because your calendar does not look like this. Your calendar, I'll bet you, if we grabbed a calendar and we put all of the appointments that you have for the next 30 days, it's not very inspiring, I'll bet, for the average person. So you take easy, fast, you get action, you get results. The objections go way down, confidence goes way up, and the new person feels like they can do this. Okay? This little text strategy is a revolution in network marketing, and I believe those who utilize it are going to see radical results in the next 12 months. Now, let's talk about some tactics. First, text message is best. I've tested all the different strategies. You can send a Facebook message. That works okay, a private message for Facebook. Text message is better. Could you send an email? Sure. Most people don't open emails anymore, though. Everybody looks at text message. Could you use some of the other services, the Twitter message or an Instagram message or Voxer and Viber and all these different things that are out there, services to message people? Sure, fantastic. But text is better. I'm just telling you. This tests way higher than any other form, higher than phone, higher than any other message form, higher than email. Text is best. So next question, what to text? What to text? All you need to do is try and schedule an appointment. So if you're texting a friend and you say, listen, you could literally say coffee, ? And send that text. Or, what's your schedule look like next week? I'd like to get together with you. Send that text. You free for breakfast in the next 3 days? Send that text. Free to have coffee, free to have lunch, whatever it is. Something to set that appointment. Now, next is give them an idea of what this is. And here's what I mean by that. If I send you a message and I say, listen, can we get together in the next 3 days? What's your schedule look like? Boom, I send that text. And you say, sure, what's up? Then I can give them an idea. I have an idea I'd like to show you. I have a project I'm working on I'd like to share with you. I have something that I think you'd find interesting. Okay? So you can give them an idea that it's not just coffee, it's something else. But that's a step too. Send the text, get the confirmation, then give them an idea that this is going to be a conversation. Now, if you get objections, I had some people, when we did this last approach with this group from the UK as an example, I had some people say, well, what do I do with this? Because they sent the message to the person, hey, I'd like to get together with you when I get back from the United States. What's your schedule look like? And they say, happy to meet with you as long as it's not network marketing or as long as it's not your company. Okay? So what do you do with that? Here's what I told them to do with that and what I would tell you to do with that. Is say, listen, all I want to do is get together. I'm not trying to sign you up for anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just would like to get together for coffee. And just back up off of your agenda with your business, get together with them and have a conversation. And have coffee, whatever. And while you're having coffee, while you're having that conversation, you could say, hey, you brought that thing up about network marketing. What was that about? Are you worried about network marketing? Are you concerned about it? Have you felt like I've been trying to push you too hard or something with my business? Because at that coffee or at that get together, they're going to ask you about your business anyway, right? So you can have a conversation about your business, you can talk about it, but if they've got a little bit of psychic damage there, just back away from it, but still have the get together. Don't worry about, to relax. We don't have to talk about any of that stuff. Let's just get together and catch up. Build rapport, build a relationship, be a real human being, right? And if there's an opportunity to have a conversation about that objection, go ahead and have it. If they ask you about your business, go ahead and share it. But I believe that our whole approach here is to have more conversations with people, to let them know what it is that we have and what it is that we offer, and see if it's a fit for them. And the more conversations that are had between distributor and prospect, the more business we're going to do, right? So then all you're going to do you're going to meet and share. That's it. You're going to get together with them and you're going to share your product. You're going to say, here's my project I wanted to talk with you about. Here's what's going on. Here's this exciting thing. Here's this video I wanted you to see. Let me show you this short video. Here's this, magazine I wanted to share with you, or whatever it happens to be, whatever third-party tool you want to do. Or if you're with somebody in your business, let's say your upline is sitting down with you, you can tell the person, give them an idea. Hey, there's another person going to join us. I want you to meet with them. We've got a project, or whatever it is. Then you can let that other person do the talking in that meeting. But all you want to do is meet and talk to them about your product or service. Meet and talk to them about your opportunity. Tell them why you're excited. Just have a conversation. It doesn't need to be this big formal thing. It just needs to be a conversation. The more conversations happen in your business, the more results you're going to end up getting. Okay? So text the message. Text is best. What to text? Simple. What's your schedule look like? I'd like to get together with you. Give the person as a follow-up to that, yeah, I can meet on Tuesday. Then you can give them an idea. Great, I've got something I want to run by you. Great, I've got an idea I want to get your opinion on. Great, I have a project that I'm working on I'd like to share with you. Great, I've got an idea moving forward that I think you might find interesting. Whatever it is, give them an idea. If you get objections, back up, but still have the meeting. Some of your prospects are a little bit put off because you only want to have conversations with them if they're a prospect. And if they're not a prospect, now they're not a friend. So go have the conversation. Good things will happen from the conversation, I promise you. Back up, take the pressure off, and then you can ask them later, have I made you feel uncomfortable in the past when it comes to this opportunity, when it comes to the product? Because if I did, I apologize. All I want you to do is understand what it is I have. That's all I want. And then it's either for you or it's not. And if it's not for you, let's talk about your kids. Let's talk about what's going on. Where are you going on vacation? What are you going to do for the holidays? Whatever. You know what I mean? Catch up. Take 10, 15 minutes out of your life. Get caught up with a person and then move on, right? I promise you good things are going to happen. Doors are going to open from doing that. So, text is best. Send a simple text. Give them an idea. If you get objections, back up, but still have the meeting, and then meet and share. Simple as that. Now, let me tell you what I would do and what I'm going to suggest all of you do. And when I share with you the numbers of this, it's pretty stunning. Every brand new person, here's what I'm going to ask all of you to do right now in the next 30 minutes. And what I would do with a brand new person. Send 10 text messages. Send 10 right in the next half an hour. Just send 10, just to see if you can set up an appointment. Now, if I get a brand new person and I just get them enrolled in my business, I'm going to say, look, let's get some appointments scheduled for you right now, and I'll help you with some of those, and I'll show you how to share the product and share the opportunity in those appointments. But send 10 text messages right now. Pull your phone out. Let's send them right now. In your presence and in their presence, get those 10 messages sent. And before you leave, it's going to be going bling, 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 bling. And they're going to be getting appointments. And they're going to be fired up. And they're going to be going, my gosh, I think I have a business. And all of you that are on this right now, we have well over, I don't know, tens of thousands of people that are on this webinar today. Tens of thousands. I want you to think about, let's say it's 50,000 people are going to watch this webinar. I don't know the exact number, but 50,000 people watch this webinar. If all of you send 10 text messages, how much is that? 500,000. 500,000. 500,000 requests for an appointment are going to be sent in the next 30 minutes. 500,000. Now, apply that to your organization. If you have 10 people in your group, if you have 100 people in your group, you have 2 people in your group, doesn't matter. As you start to build a bigger group, if you build this into your culture, what's going to happen? I promise you, good things are going to happen. Once they send the 10 and they build their confidence, then send 100. Pardon me, send 100 messages out to people. And here's what's going to happen. Let me give you some numbers. Well, let's do something crazy. Let's say all of you that are watching this webinar, the 50,000 plus, let's say it's 50,000 people today agree that in the next 72 hours, they're going to send 100 text messages. You can do it in one day, no problem. But let's say in the next 72 hours, you send 100 text messages. What is that? 50,000 times 100. 5 million? 5 million? Really? 5 million appointments can be set in the next 72, requests for an appointment can be sent in the next 72 hours? Think about the impact of just what we can do today together as a group. Think about how many people will join our business from 5 million requests to sit down and share it with someone. That's the leverage that I'm talking about. I'm talking about creating real leverage in your organization. Now think, if every single person in your group sends 100 text messages in the next 30 days, everyone. And when everybody joins, they send 10 right away, and then they send another 90 after that. Now take that forward for the next 12 months. And where's your group? These little things where you can get massive leverage get me super excited. This is the simplest one that I've ever seen. The reason why I think it's the biggest breakthrough in 10 years is because of the simplicity and because of the results. Now, let's play with the numbers, just for fun. Out of 100 text messages, my tests over the course of these last 12 months lead me to believe, depending on the quality of your relationship with the people that you know, it's going to be anywhere from 30 to 50 appointments. 30 to 50 appointments. That's 1 a day for the next 30 to 50 days. That's 2 a day for the next 15 to 25 days. It's a huge. Now let's just use an average and let's just call it 40. 40 appointments are going to be set from those 100 text messages. In your company, if you do a presentation with somebody, if you sit down with somebody, what percentage of that group is going to become your customer? And what percentage is going to become a distributor? In the company that I worked with this group in the United Kingdom, they had 3 out of 10 appointments became customers. On average, if you average it way down, the top distributors got a much higher number. But if you averaged everything, 3 out of 10 became customers, 1 out of 10 became distributors. Okay, so if that's true, 40 would turn into 3 out of 10 would become customers. That's 12 customers, right? And 4 distributors. Send 100 text messages out, have these 40 appointments, get 12 customers, have 4 distributors, and have 40 good friends that you sat down with and found out what was going on in their life. Okay? Now, take this. Is that a good result? It's a pretty good result, right? Now you have 4 people in your business. What are you going to do with those 4 distributors? You're going to go to those 4 distributors and say, okay, let's send 10 now. Let me show you what happened when I sent 100. I booked these 40 appointments. I got 12 and I got 4 and I was brand new. You could probably do better than me. They go out and do the same thing. Now you've got some momentum in your organization. Let's say you have a group of 100 people. Right? That's what? 3,000 to 5,000 appointments. That's, call it 4,000 on average. And then you have 1,200 customers and 400 distributors that come out of 100 people doing this simple approach. Okay? Pretty amazing, right? And then what are you going to do with those 400? Send 10, give them a little taste of success and momentum, then have them send 100 and tell them what you did with your 100. You follow me? Now let's do something crazy, just for fun. You know what I like about the network marketing community more than anything? Together we can do some enormous things. If we have 50,000 people today that commit to sending 100 text messages, that's 5 million text messages in the next 72 hours, let's say. 5 million. And let's say that turns into 2 million appointments. And 3 out of 10, which would be what? 30% of this is 600,000? Is that right? 600,000 customers from this group today? And how many distributors? 1 out of 10, so that's 200,000 new distributors over the course of the next, let's call it 60 days as everybody gets together. Do you think that's a positive impact on the network marketing community? Huge. It's just huge. If I was a leader and I had a group of 1,000 people at an event, guess what my number one priority would be? That they do not leave there until they've sent 100 text messages. Because if they send 100 text messages, all of their calendars are going to be just packed. All of them. All 1,000 people. Now, some of them still aren't going to take action there, and that's fine. But that would be my number one goal. If I had a group of 50 people together for a Saturday training, guess what my number one goal would be? More than anything else. Get that calendar filled up. How am I going to do it? With the text messages. Now, if we did this together as a group, just from this webinar today, we did this, 5 million text messages, 2 million appointments, 600,000 customers, 200,000 distributors. Then what do we do with those 200,000 distributors? Have them send 10. And then encourage them to send 100 by telling our story. And here's what happened with us. Can you see how exponential growth and duplication can happen in your business like maybe it's never happened before? For all of you as leaders, here's what I would tell you. Bake this into your culture. Make this a centerpiece of your culture. Make sure everybody who joins sends 10 immediately. Make sure they have a goal to set 100 in their first 30 days. Fill up that calendar. Learn how to tell the story. Teach other people to send 10, then 100, 10, then 100, 10, then 100. If you've got people in your group, have it feel normal. Everybody tells their 100 text story. Everybody tells their story about how they launched their business by sending 100 text messages, and they had X number of appointments, and from those appointments they created this many customers and this many distributors. If I can do it, you can too. Have everybody tell that story. Now, here's the biggest thing for all of you. The 100 text challenge. Every one of you, I challenge you to send 100 text messages in the next 72 hours. I challenge you, starting as soon as you're done with this webinar, to start the process and then tell other people, oh my gosh, it's working. Share your statistics. Keep track of your results. Share it with the world. Share it with your team. Build it into the culture. But it starts with all of you. You're leaders. You're on this call. Some of you, various time zones all around the world. I promise you this works in every culture. It works in every language. 100 text challenge. Send it out. If you don't have people's phone numbers, then go find them. Get them. Facebook message them. What's your phone number? I want to send you something. And then send them a text message. That's my biggest challenge. I want you to do one thing, is do that. Number two, I want you to go to the Network Marketing Pro fan page, facebook.com/NM Pro. N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, Pro, right? Facebook.com/NM Pro. And post your results. Let everybody know how powerful this is. This is really something amazing, okay? So you accept the challenge? Are you in? All right, fantastic.